After driving all the way from Belgium to Slovenia on our way to Montenegro, we will be crossing Croatia in this video, seeing a huge part of the coast and some breathtaking waterfalls. Come along! It was really easy crossing into Croatia. We just simply crossed the border, and then once we crossed the border we had to pay toll, or at least take a toll ticket and then pay once we got to Zagreb, which was €6.70, and then now we are on the highway to Split. We will be stopping in Zadar, so let's see how much that will cost. We topped up the diesel for the car because it was €1.35 even along the highway, which is the cheapest we've had so far. After getting on the highway to Zadar from Zagreb, we were guided off the highway once we reached the coast, and after a long deviation, winding along mountains and through villages, we finally made it to Zadar, where we parked right at the sea gate and walked into town. After a much longer ride than anticipated, we finally made it to Zadar. Zadar has the largest Roman forum east of the Adriatic. It was established by Emperor Augustus at the turn of the 1st century. You can learn more about it at the Archaeological Museum. The St. Donatus Church was built all the way back in the year 800, and on the eastern side of the forum is the St. Mary's Church, which belongs to a Benedictine monastery founded in the 11th century. St. Anastasia's Cathedral is yet another example of Zadar's fine collection of Romanesque architecture. The cathedral's bell tower is newer but nonetheless a true eye-catcher. Zadar has the distinction of never falling to the Ottomans, and this is down to their amazing defense system. The Venetians constructed the walls in the 1500s. The city used to possess an ingenious drinking water source accessed by 5 wells on the same square. These remain in place today on the 5 Wells Square. Along the walls you can find 2 gates, the Land Gate and the Sea Gate. On the Land Gate you can still see the Venetian symbol, the Lion of St. Mark. We walked from here through the small marina, along the city walls to the promenade. Here at the tip of the Old Town's peninsula is the award-winning art installation, the Sea Organ. It was created in 2005 and is the first of its kind in the world. A series of large marble steps creates musical notes generated by the power of the waves that break underneath. Simply incredible. Now at the start of April, it's still super quiet here. We've seen all the sights. We could park for free on the Sunday, and the shops are closed, but we are just gonna grab a quick lunch and continue to Trogir. We continue driving again to our stop for the night, following the coastal road where every kilometer there was another speed camera. Not kidding. Any road that's not the toll road has them at almost every intersection. But eventually, our final destination of the day was in sight. After another 2-hour drive, we are finally arriving at Trogir. This is the entire island. It's pretty big, and this is the marina we'll be leaving from in 2 months for our sailboat tours. Trogir is a town and a port next to the much bigger city Split. The old town is situated on a small island between the mainland and the island of Kiovo. Here we stayed at an amazing apartment with a fully equipped kitchen and even a balcony looking out onto the bay. It was only a few minutes drive to the old town, where we walked around the quiet streets, which we will soon see bustling with tourists going on our sailing trips. We made use of the kitchen for some crispy fish and noodles for dinner, saving money where we can before our much anticipated visit the next day. We left behind Trogir for now and headed into the mountains to Krka National Park. We parked here for free and got our tickets before walking down to the star of the park. Good morning from Krka National Park. The Skradinsky book Waterfall. This is the 7th, final and longest tufa barrier on the Krka River. It is also the longest tufa barrier in Europe. If you're interested in what tufa actually is, here it is. It is freaking impressive. This is definitely the most beautiful part of the Krka National Park, and a 2-kilometer circular educational walking trail leads you around the waterfalls. remnants of Krka hydroelectric plant from 1895 are still visible today. This was the first to provide electrical energy to light up a city. The waterfall is so powerful that swimming at the waterfall is not allowed. The former water mills have been restored and serve to demonstrate the old trade, along with some other ethnological information. From the waterfall, you can take one of the excursion boats towards Visovac Island, Ruski Waterfall, and to Torak. Once we finished our visit, the bus brought us back to our car and we decided to explore some more of the park. We headed in the direction of the Ruski Waterfall, passing through the mountains along the river and through cute towns like Skradin. We have made it to the Ruski Waterfall, which is the second waterfall that is included in your ticket for the Krka National Park. And right now we have parked all the way up here. This is where the road crosses the river. Up there are the terraces and down here is another waterfall. So we're now gonna go and have a look. There should be a path that we can walk on along the water, but also a path that leads to the cave, which doesn't look like much, but it does have a good view from above. But the loop would be more or less an hour walk, which we don't have that much time, but we do want to go and have a look. Was a nice visit. We pretty much had it all to ourselves, and I do believe it's free for everyone, not just people paying for the Krka waterfalls. But yeah, lovely flowers and butterflies. Definitely recommend stopping by. There's another waterfall more north, but it costs another 15 euros and we don't have time for that today. We started driving again, heading even further into the mountains near the Bosnian border. But of course we stopped for a burek along the way to have for lunch. And then we arrived in the most stunning landscape where our last stop of the day was awaiting us. Driven all the way to Izvor, Cetine, just because of the blue eye of Croatia, which you've most definitely seen on Instagram posts before. You cannot swim in here anymore, neither would I like to, but this is a spring of a river and it's known for the aerial view where it looks like an eye, which it does, but it's so windy that the wind is creating a lot of wrinkles on the surface, which makes it more difficult to see the gradient of the eye really getting deeper and darker. So that's a bit of a shame, but there's a beautiful church up here as well. And yeah, this is one of those things that is not as great as on the internet. Though we had had a full and gorgeous day already, we still had over 3 hours to drive to our end destination before reaching Montenegro. We would spend a few days in Dubrovnik, where we finally arrived around 7 p.m. And that is it. We have made it all the way to the south in Dubrovnik, Croatia. We have spent the past 4 days traveling all the way from home here, but Dubrovnik I will keep for a separate video once we are done with our sailing season here in Croatia, which I'll share with you guys as well. And up next will be Montenegro, Albania. We are going to Bosnia as well, so definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of the next videos. And then I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!